Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sankirtan Bhakti Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Go to Premanandi. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Continued readings from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 25, titled The Characteristics of King Paranjana, Text 36. Dristyagato Sibhadramte Ramyam Kaman Apisate Advahisyami Tamsteham Swabandhir Arindama Disjagato Sibhadramte Ramyan Kaman Abipsase Udvahisyami Tamsteham Swabandhir Arindama Dristyagato Sibhadramte Ramyan Kaman Abipsase Udvahisyami Tamsteham Swabandhir Arindama
Dishyagato Sibhadramte Ramyam Kamam Abhisase Udvahishyame Tamsteham Swabandhubir Arindama Dishyagato Sibhadramte Ramyam Kaman Abhisase Udvahishyame Tamsteham Swabandhubir Arindama
Dishyagato Sibhadramte
Ramyam Kamam Abhisase Udvahishyame Tamsteham Swabandhubir Arindama.
Fortunately for me, Agata, Ashi, you have come here. Badram, all auspiciousness. Te, unto you. Gramyan, sensual. Kaman, desired, enjoyable objects. Abhipsase, you want to enjoy. Udvahishyami, I shall supply. Tan, all of them. Te, unto you. Aham, I. Svabandhubi, with all my friends. Arindama, O killer of the enemy. Translation. O killer of the enemy, you have somehow or other come here. This is certainly great fortune for me. I wish all auspicious things for you. You have a great desire to satisfy your senses, and all my friends and I shall try our best in all respects to fulfill your desires. Please repeat if you wish. O killer of the enemy.
O killer of the enemy,
You have somehow or other come here.
you have somehow or other come here.
This is certainly great fortune for me.
This is certainly a great fortune for
I
me.
wish all auspicious things for you.
I wish all auspicious things for you.
You have a great desire to satisfy your senses,
You have a great desire to satisfy your senses.
and all my friends
And all my friends
and I
and I
shall try our best
shall try our best
in all respects
in all
to
respects
fulfill your desires.
to fulfill your desire.
Purport Srila Prabhupada. Living entity comes down into this material world for sense gratification, and his intelligence, represented by the woman, gives him the proper direction by which he can satisfy his senses to their best capacity. In actuality, however, intelligence comes from the Supersoul, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he gives full facility to the living entity who has come down to this material world. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 2:41, Yavasyatmika buddhir ekeha kulunandana bahusaka yanantascha buddhayo vyavasayana. Those who are on the spiritual path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the cruise, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. When a devotee is advancing towards spiritual realization, his only aim is the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He does not care for any other material or spiritual activity. King Paranjana represents the ordinary living entity, and the woman represents the ordinary living entity's intelligence. Combined, the living entity enjoys his material senses, and the intelligence supplies all paraphernalia for his enjoyment. As soon as he enters the human form, the living entity is entrapped by a family tradition, nationality, customs, etc. These are all supplied by the Maya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, the living entity, under the bodily conception of life, utilizes his intelligence to his best capacity in order to satisfy his senses. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sadhguru Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. O killer of the enemy, you have somehow or other come here. This is certainly great fortune for me. I wish all auspicious things for you. You have a great desire to satisfy your senses, and all my friends and I shall try our best in all respects to fulfill your desires. Which reminds me of Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Terminator. You know, when Arnold, the Terminator guy, kills the mother-in-law or something, and on the phone with the daughter with the same voice. Yes, dear, please come over here. But it's really the Terminator. You know? So this is like Maya's thought for me. Oh, killer of the enemy, you have somehow or other come here in the form of a woman. Right? This is certainly great fortune for me. You know, it's kind of like the Terminator. You know, I'm just here to terminate your body. I'm just here to have you get more entangled in this material dimension, devour you like the, you know, the whatever they call that certain wasp. just kind of comes in and devours certain living entities. Oh, great tarantula, killer of the enemy. You have somehow or other come. Certainly this is great fortune for me. I get to eat you and kill you. No, it's not quite that rough, but that's kind of, my illusory energy of the Lord. Like the light bulb with the moth, Oh, so beautiful. It's my friend. This light bulb is my friend. It's warm and beautiful. Oh, but you look down below the light bulb and you see a bunch of dead moths, right? So I'm going to picture this purport. The living entity comes down into this material world for sense gratification as intelligence represented by the woman gives him the proper direction for which he can satisfy his senses to their best capacity. What is that best capacity? I think Mike Jagger said it all. Mike Jagger, what was the name of that band? Rolling Stones, thank you. In a while. So Rolling Stones, the leader of the Rolling Stones, Mike Jagger, he was very wealthy, rock star, can really, probably the best opportunity to satisfy his senses. But what does he sing in one of his songs? I can't get any satisfaction. It's a famous part of that song. I can't get any satisfaction. There's some devotees, Prabhupada was giving a lecture to devotees, Sankirtan Russian devotees or something like that. And one devotee said, Prabhupada, it's so difficult to distribute books. And Prabhupada said, it's not difficult to distribute books. It's very, very, very difficult to distribute books. So he's talking about in the cold, I know one devotee goes out he can last 15 minutes. It gets so cold. It's like 20 degrees below zero, somewhere way up there in Russia. He can go out 15 minutes. He goes out longer, the body breaks. So he can go out and then jumps back inside. So it's very, very, it's not difficult. It's very, very, very difficult. But sense gratification is impossible. It's not possible for you to gratify your senses. They will not be gratified. It's like a kid, Mommy, I want that chocolate. Okay, here's the chocolate. I want that chocolate now. Okay, here's that chocolate. I want that chocolate. I don't like that. I want that chocolate. I want that candy cane. Yeah, it just goes on. It'll go on and on forever like this. Never be satisfied. Never. Such our senses. We have to it's like a kid. These bodies and minds. You got to raise it properly. So it can't be satisfied unless it takes to Krishna consciousness, of course. And so yes, I am here to satisfy your senses to the best capacity. And actually, however, intelligence comes from the super soul or the supreme personality. Got it? And he gives full facility to the living entity who's come down to this material world. Just a little more on that note of Terminator. I see it. People come by, the guy's completely engrossed in family life. Completely just taken to Maya's got him completely. And he walks by the table and you got the picture of the super soul there and signs of self-realization and all these they see that picture and stuff. And you can tell they get a little sample of reality. And as they walk by, it's like a little bit of conscious thought. You can see a little bit of conscious thought wait, I'm holding my wife's hand, but who is this? It seems like I'm in a dream. I'm waking up from a dream. Wait, what's going on? You can see them kind of catch on that there's a Terminator there. Hi, dear. Yes, come on over. And it gets a little bit awakened from the dream state. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Sarvasya chaham mrisani vistoma tasmatir gyanam podam cha vedaishcha sarvam chaham. I am, Krishna's telling Arjuna, I am the super soul in everyone's heart who's giving knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. knowledge. So if you want to forget Krishna, no problem. No problem. No, it doesn't, Krishna doesn't want you to do that, but if that's what you want, Krishna gives you full facility. Full facility. We're talking full facility. Not just in one species, 8.4 million species. Have them all. You want to forget? Okay, try out the bug body. See, like you can climb all these things, like in a spider body. You can cruise all over the place with an ant. Forget rock climbing, just get an ant body and have at it, And then you got the rhinoceros body, big old strong thing, lion body. I was just talking with Gaura Shakti, who was sharing me how Tejas, the devotee that used to be here. Anybody know Tejas? Or maybe he's still here, I don't know. His father or grandfather used to kill lions with a dagger this big. 55 of them they got, 50 or 55 of them. Because the villagers would go, lion ate a kid, usually it's deer. But, so it's a tiger body. Have at it. Eat the deer, eat the kids, whatever. And then you got 400,000 human species. I don't know if you got to go through all those human species or not, but only in human form can you transcend and finish the journey. We finally have this form. And we all know that it's not, if we want a sleeping body, we get the bear body. If we want a meditating body, Prabhu says pigeons, I think, or crows can do it 3 times an hour, whatever, Or if you got the eating body, you go to Mayapur, you see, I was taking my sister to Mayapur, and she saw the elephant stool on the road. And we just started laughing. It's this big. It's the size of bigger than a football. It's like, my God. So one eating body, elephant body, right? Eat, sleep, mate, defending body, porcupine, right? Try to get that porcupine. Whoa. But the human form doesn't really have this kind of facility. It's designed for realization of the absolute truth and transcending this material dimension once and for all. So, yes. So the devotees, so this human form. So in the human form, we should know what to do and what not to do. Right? It says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, divine and divine inequalities. It goes into the demons don't know what to do and what not to do. And by doing things appropriately, even with material intelligence, we can transcend. Just this is a weird thought, but somebody gave me he was part of the Satanic Temple, and he gave me their card, and it read the creed of the Satanic Temple. And it's actually really pretty good. Honestly, it was like somewhat Krishna conscious, a little bit in there. They were just basically rebelling against dogma. You can be who you want, respect other people doing what they want. Everybody just does what they want, that was pretty much the creed. Respect everybody, and respect, that's your belief, that's okay. And my belief, that's okay. They're kind of like doing that. But anyway, of course I'm not a satanist, but the point is that material intelligence, properly done, can elevate people. Just like I remember I was watching this, I wasn't watching it, I finished the morning program, and there was a marriage ceremony going on in the temple after the morning program. Some guys who came by and says, this is medicine for some and poison for others, So, it's medicine for most people that they need that kind of experience and lifestyle to advance, to gradually elevate their consciousness. So, and of course, if we're super advanced, whether we need it, even if it's poison for us, we can do that and really advance nicely as well. So, but the point is that material intelligence has its place if it's done properly. Like the entire huge part of the Vedas is all about material pursuit and how you do it in a way so that you gradually elevate the consciousness and get to Krishna consciousness ultimately. Right? We have so many things in the Vedas regarding that. So, but we should know what to do and what not to do and follow that intelligence properly. And that's basically, Prabhupada's pointing out that intelligence comes from the Supersoul. You want to forget me? Okay, forget me in this way. Not in Vikarma way, where you just don't follow the Vedas, and then you really get lost for a long time. Don't do it that way. But do it, kind of like the way that the Vedas, the Bhagavatam kind of explains those people pursuing material pursuits. They're not really going way out there. But we do know that, the more we can exit this experience, the quicker become more renounced and recognize that this, what is it? The story of the Brahmana that has a couple kopans and he's happy just chanting Hare Krishna, and a mouse eats one of his kopans. And he goes, oh man, now what do I do? As he goes to the store, what do I do? Well, you need a cat. So he gets a cat, and the cat starts meowing, and goes back to the store. The cat's bothering my kirtan. What do I do now? Well, you need a cow. He's asking for milk. So he gets a cow, and the cow moves away and goes back to the store. When you need a wife to take care of the cat, pretty soon he's got this huge thing. You go into your average person out there. It's interesting to note in here it talks about the common living entity. Puranjana represents the ordinary living entity, and the woman represents the ordinary living entity's intelligence. So I asked Dhanavira Maharaj, what does it mean to consider our spiritual master an ordinary human being? What does that ordinary mean? It's just somebody who's completely devoted his life to Krishna is not ordinary. So this ordinary living entity is a Griha Medi. He's not interested in devotional service, doesn't even maybe know about it. So he's pursuing his life. And if you go into your average Griha Medi's garage and see all the things in his garage, my God, that costs God knows how many things are in there. You got the kid's old BB gun when he was 5, and you got the kids this and that, and so many things in there, all these swimming devices and all the, oh my goodness, how many things. And so I recall a sannyasi on an airplane sharing his story about, there was a very wealthy guy that sat next to him. And Maharaj is there chanting his beads, reading his book. And the guy brought up a bunch of questions and just basically revealed his heart that he's not happy. He's not peaceful. He can't find peace of mind. He's got tons of money, so many things. And then after having the conversation with him, he realized, well, wait, you're happy. You're talking to the sannyasi. You're happy and you have nothing. Oh, okay. So it's not that nothing brings happiness. The monkeys, I don't see them quite that happy in Vrindavan. They do get smashed around by their fellow monkey friends, and not to mention devotees or other living entities that don't want them around. But simple living and high thinking is one of our mottos, because you have time for hearing and chanting about the glories of Krishna, Krishna Katha, hearing and chanting about Krishna. You can go Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. And you can hear about the pastimes of Krishna and chant his glories. And this is what brings happiness to the soul. The entire Bhagavatam, it's really all about, a lot of it, at least the first part of it's about understanding that this is where it's at. This is what the most advanced people do. I try to share this with the Indians out there at Mount Rushmore. There's kind of a fair amount of them come by, and they're doing their thing, imitating the West. And I'm going, kind of like subtly this, smack over their heads and going, this, but I say it in a nice way. I don't smack them. I say, literally greatest beings. They make this their life and soul to where they arrange their entire life so that they can hear this book and share it with others. That's what the most advanced, intelligent beings do on the planet. And they kind of get it a little bit. Some of them get the Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1 after saying all that really kind of strongly, because they can be caught up a bit and forget where they come from. They come from the land of Varsa. Now, not that we have to be in a renounced situation, like fit externally to make advancement, of course, but it helps to be. But if we're super advanced, then hope this person doesn't mind me sharing his glories. Sankar Shandas Adhikari, he was saffroned, but the GBC asked him to get married to show people that you can make it as in a marriage situation. I've been told that he's never even embraced his wife, and they get along great, and they do their thing as a great example, and everybody's just kind of adjusting and it's fun. And talking about advancement, he's told me many times that he doesn't really want to go back home to Godhead. He wants to stay here until everybody's back home. And he really saying it with such a visceral, emotional response. It's told me many times. I don't think it was just a statement. Or let's take Bharat Maharaj. What Bharat Maharaj, this is the land of Bharat, whatever. Yeah, Bharat Maharaj who got attached to the deer. If you read some of the previous Acharya's commentary on Bhagavatam, forgot which one, states that he was so advanced that he got attached to the deer, not that he really was in heart attached to the deer, but he was got attached to the deer to show us all for the future that don't get attached to a deer. So he wasn't really attached to the deer, but he's just playing that role to show us all that this is not a good way to go. You shouldn't do this. Can you imagine that? Being that advanced that you don't mind going into a deer's body in your next lifetime? Wow, that's hardcore. Or let's take Pundarik Vidyanidhi from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I think it was Mukunda, his friend of Gadadhar Pandit. When Gadadhar Pandit wanted to meet an advanced devotee, Mukunda said, well, I got somebody for you. And I think it was Mukunda, please correct me if I'm wrong. So Mukunda tells Gadadhar Pandit, let's go see this great soul. And Gadadhar Pandit's really grateful to come along, check out this amazing being. But then when he goes over to see, his name's Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and he sees him lying on this really cushioned bed with tears on it, on the top, and it's got a spittoon there, and his servants are like tons of, servants fanning him and giving him everything, and his hair's all slick and, and really, really extra nice clothes. And Gadadhar Pandit has this thought in his mind, like, is this an advanced soul or a gross materialist? He's doubting. So Mukunda saw Gadadhar Pandit's thoughts in a sense, and then said, okay, I forgot who he told, maybe he told Gadadhar Pandit, I can't remember, to recite a verse from the Bhagavatam. Because when you're really advanced, it doesn't take much for you to just go into complete ecstasy. Right? I mean, like you go out there in Harinam and you chant Hare Krishna, and a guy's eating his whatever and hears it, and maybe he, eats or drinks a little less alcohol or something, from the reaction. But you go to an advanced soul, you chant Hare Krishna, he could easily lose it. So they recited that verse in the Bhagavatam, glorifying how Putana, she was just feeding, Krishna with poison, to kill him. And Krishna gave Putana a position in the spiritual world because you consider that as a motherly activity. So he heard, so Pundarik Vidyanidhi, here he is, all, doing his thing. And he heard one verse and he went into complete ecstasy and started ripping his clothes and destroying everything in complete ecstasy, like smashing everything completely to bits. And they tried to hold him down, he was shaking so much in ecstasy that they couldn't, it was like a whole bunch of people, they couldn't hold him down. He went and did this for hours, and then went into passed out or whatever in some trance, And Gadadhar Pandit is thinking, oh my God, I've made such an offense, thinking this is a gross materialist, this is an extremely advanced soul. So he felt that the only way for him to counteract, so he wouldn't get a bad reaction for that from Krishna, it was he became a disciple. So we definitely don't need to play the role of saffron or anything of this nature, but because who knows who's really advanced and who's not, like me. I'm not. So, but there might be a person I'm distributing a book to, never seen him ever before, ever in any of the Hare Krishnas, doesn't have a kunti mala, right? But that person might be super advanced. Who knows? We don't know. Krishna knows it. So is the point of some of this is that we should be as much innerly renounced as practical for spreading the movement. Like here we are, nice prasadam restaurant, but you can be super advanced with here, and you're doing it so that we can spread Krishna consciousness. Not that, let's just eat a little buttermilk a day, that's it, and give the karmis, a little buttermilk too, and that's good. That might not spread Krishna consciousness too well. So we play out these roles for Krishna's pleasure, but inwardly we should try to be as renounced as practical. And because that simple living and high thinking motto will greatly advance us and keep us away from this, keep us towards this. Those who are on the spiritual path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the crews, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. It keeps us from expending energy into somewhere that leads to nowhere land. Just like you play tennis when you're a kid, right, with a new guy, and he hits the ball over the fence. And you're like, oh my God, I gotta go all the way out there, get the ball and bring it back. It's like many branch, so much wasted energy, So, simple living, high thinking, and not to view our superiors improperly, because that can mess up our advancement. They might be playing a role just for the sake of helping others advance nicely, that may not appear like this or that. And we go out of our way to basically, here it states, the dreamer, he's in the dream world of I am the enjoyer, and the material intelligence in the form of, and the one who represents that is going, well, you do it like this, you forget like that, you forget like that, you forget like that. Krishna gives you that opportunity. This entire material dimension is one part of the spiritual sky, like a cloud in the sky. And somebody asked Prabhupada about, did we leave the spiritual world? He says, well, you're still there. It's just there's a cloud in this part of the spiritual world. So, point is that so yes, Krishna gives you full facility to forget everything. Forget him. He is everything. We're dealing with literally only everywhere at all times, in all places, either Krishna or his energy. Nothing more than that, anywhere, everywhere. That's reality. But if we want to forget that, then he gives full facility, Full facility. Full facility. Not in a vindictive, bad way. States in the Bible that God's a jealous God. Nonsense. Sorry. That's complete nonsense. God never gets jealous. My God, what a crazy thought. Crazy thought. Even if you want to worship the demigods, he gives you full facility for it. No issue. He doesn't have like something in his heart where he's like doing it vindictively, you know. No. This gives you facility for that. Super Soul is just providing. You want to become, remember when I desired to do this when I was a kid, then Krishna just arranges everything. Okay, do that. Or this. I remember one time I really wanted to ski, and I mean, not that I was the cause of this, but I just remember seeing, massive snowstorm, and okay, get to go skiing, and whatever it might, or this girl that I was attracted to, but I was too shy to whatever, and she approached me and asked me out. Okay, and Krishna just gets full facility for all this, So, but the devotees of the Lord know the Lord's heart. And so if you want to forget Krishna, good luck. Because there's devotees around. And the devotees, you want to forget, you take that girl that you were attracted to out on the date, and then here comes the devotees. Shama Shindar, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And it wakes them up. I'm like, oh man, I can't enjoy my dream. So our job is to comfort the disturbed, but disturb the comfortable. Too comfortable, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Forgetting Krishna, Hare Krishna. Well, our job is to wake everybody up. I mean, Prabhupada took this statement that Krishna consciousness will be heard in Hare Krishna will be heard in every town and village, totally seriously. And I recently heard a lecture from him telling somebody about this, or in one of his lectures maybe, explaining how this is literally going to happen. Like, it's going to be everywhere. And he's really like, you can play a role in this or not, but if you try to forget Krishna, sorry, the devotees won't let you. They're going to be out there going regularly, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And here's a book on Krishna consciousness. Yeah. And so everybody wakes up. So that's the beauty of this Krishna consciousness movement, is we're here really just to get that holy name in town, every town and village. And there's a lot of room. There's not like it's already done and the devotees are taking care of it. Everybody's become fully Krishna conscious. I can just take a nap now because the job's already done, or it's going well enough so they don't need me. We all know that that's not true. You are the most needed personality in the universe to take. Krishna arranges your life so that you're most needed. Everybody is most needed for spreading Krishna consciousness. This world is in desperate need of people to take to Krishna consciousness and help spread Krishna consciousness. This world is in desperate need of gurus. And it's really cool at Mount Rushmore. I meet a lot of times during the day, and it can be anybody, a 65-year-old gal that's just interested, and she loves reading. She takes a whole stack. And at the end of it, I always just tell her, get her to chant Hare Krishna. Basically, but he says, have fun being the guru. Please share this with everybody. And they're like, yeah. A lot of people, I want to know what my purpose is in life. What does God really want me to do? Oh, here it is. Krishna instruct everybody to follow these teachings and try to liberate everybody in the land, and this way become a spiritual master. This is what Krishna wants you to do. You don't have to speculate anymore. It's this. So please read this and share it with others. That's it. That's what God wants you to do. And that can come in many forms. So we need to make gurus out there. We all need to be full real gurus and just help make more gurus. It's best for us and best for them. And of course, book distribution is a wonderful way to radically spread that all, because people don't have the knowledge yet. And by giving them a book, they can have that knowledge and they can They can read it on their spare time and reread it, and on. Their friends can read it, and so forth and so on. It's a very effective way to spread Krishna consciousness. So encourage everybody to take some time throughout their week to just get at least one book out a week. Everybody just did one book a week. That adds up. And all those people that are coming to the temple, put a bookmark in there, the invitation card of the temple. And, they'll bring more people in. I just heard people concerned about there was so many Indians at the Sunday feast. Where are the Westerners? And I think somebody was asked to do something about that. So what is that doing something about that? It's giving them a book. They realize giving them a book, of course, so many ways to advertise, but giving them a book is a very practical way. In fact, somebody asked Prabhupada, should we do something for advertisement? He says book distribution is the perfect advertisement, the perfect marketing program. Said something pretty much exactly that. And so, want to advertise, distribute books, put the Govinda's bookmark thing in there that has the times. That's it. Let's get them out. Let them fly. You pick it up, and they take to it. So I'll stop there. Thank you for tolerating all that. And any comments or questions? Yes.
So I was just wondering if you could, I'm not so skilled at book distribution, and I was wondering if maybe you could just give me something that I could say to draw people.
Yeah, you don't really need to even say much. Let's say you go out with some title that people can recognize. I recommend that. Rather than, Bhagavad Gita, if you want to go all hardcore, Srimad Bhagavatam, give people some of your Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1, they're like, okay. But because they see the title and they can't relate with it at all. They don't know what it means. They don't know what it is. You got a perfection of yoga, science of self-realization, soft, something easy like that. And you just find a genuine compliment, like, you look like the thinking type. Here, love for you to take one of these and you get it in the hand. So compliment, put it in their hand so they grab it on some level. Not that you're holding it, but they got it in their hand. And then just, love for you, just trying to make the world a better place. And can you give a donation? That's it. What do you say? 4 sentences about 3 or 4? That's it. Nothing more than that. So first what? What's the first thing to do?
Give a genuine compliment.
Second?
Hand them the book.
Put it in their hand.
Put it in their hand.
Get it to where if you hand it to them, make sure they take it. If they don't take it, it's probably not going to happen. So 3 things. So compliment, then what?
Put the book in their hand.
All right. So or at least if you hold it out, they actually grab it. So the book's in their hand. Then maybe make a simple comment like, we're just trying to help make the world a better place. Let them know your intention. Or you might want to make a comment like this helps with stress and anxiety, or helps people advance spiritually. Advanced spiritually is common now it's cool now. Advanced spiritually. It used to be this stress and anxiety, we don't talk about spiritual. But now today, people can handle spiritual advancement concepts. And then what? Last thing.
Or ask for donation.
Donation, yeah. Can you give a donation to help with the print? Yeah. And if they don't give a donation, it's perfectly okay to distribute the books to them. Perfectly okay, Prabhupada says, it's perfectly okay as long as the books can get paid. VVT gets their money. Any of those books can be paid for. It's okay to give them free books. But we should have some qualifying thing there. Sometimes they'll say they don't have any money. But if we do Square, Venmo, Cash App, you have an old book, what's it called? Gift card, like Starbucks, Walmart. Nothing. But what? You think you'd read it? No. Okay. And you just, they'll hand it back to you, and then you pass it. Or check it out. Okay, take it. If you can pay for it. And if not, if you're doing it, you got to get money for it, and you got to be sensitive so you leave them with a favorable impression. At least give them some sort of, maybe a flyer up there, or a card, or something written on it that says you got the online, you can read these online here. Something that would leave people would think you didn't try to cheat me, concepts. That's it. You don't need to go into a 10-minute dissertation on Krishna consciousness. In fact, the more you talk about it, the less books go out, is my experience. Because they're waiting for one red flag. Is this Hindu? Red flag. Oh, I don't want it. Oh, is this God? Oh, I don't want it. Or whatever it might be. Oh, it's not about God? Oh, I don't want it. It's just people got those knee-jerk reactions to so many different words. And once you say one of those words, or they just lose their attention. Is that okay? That's simple. We don't have to make it more complicated. Any other comments or questions? Yes, please.
So, actually, when you give somebody something of value, like the books, get a lot of value, or something is not valuable, it's very important for them to give something in return. Maybe not money, but at least they read it. Because if you give them something for free, they will not see the value. So they have to give something, and they got to give something very, very dear for them, like money or their life, or a promise. But when you give them something for free, they don't give too much importance to it. So that's why I say to some no book distributor, you can just give them like that, explain them, and make sure they can read it. Or they don't have no money, I understand, but ask them to give at least something for the paper, because these books are not cheap. They get a lot of,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
This book, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if anybody else, I'm sure some of you have seen that video with Vaisheshika Prabhu and the person that was getting a book, and then they didn't have any money. And then he said, well, how about your lighter? And so, yeah.
Lighter.
And so, the guy was a smoker, and so he convinced him to give him the lighter so he could use the lighter in
Big
Krishna's
donation.
service to light incense or whatever. And so then the guy took the book, but then he was like, oh, can I have my lighter back? Because now he had nothing but light a cigarette with, but Vaisheshika wouldn't give it back.
You wouldn't give it
No,
back?
no.
Oh my God, that's
It's a
funny.
great video.
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh,
he's so charming.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the
You're right.
person was happy
You're
to
right.
Not everyone, not everyone. So when people would get defeated by Prabhupada, they'd be happy
You're
actually.
right.
Just commenting that in the mood of your class on book distribution and spreading the holy name, the devotees are going to go out on Harinam today at noon. Up to Reed Park. It might not be that crowded, but there'll be some people will be there. It's a beautiful day. We're also chanting in the evening, but better than chanting for ourselves, we bring it out to the public. So all available Prabhus after the cut up will go out. And I will determine who is the available Prabhus, because I know everyone's schedule and what everyone's doing. Haribol.
Thank
Tell
you.
another story or something.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? So, yeah. So, reminder that, we have to take the Krishna consciousness, and otherwise we will not be successful in this renunciation game. Even if we try to stay away, we will not be successful. Haridas Thakur is a wonderful example, somebody that was successful. And the only way he was successful was he was addicted to the chanting of the holy name. So our life is addictive, is an addiction program too, to the holy name. And all that we do is serving the holy name, serving Krishna. So that is the only way to go, as it says in Bhagavad Gita 259, Visya Vinivartante Naraharasya Rasovarjam Rasupyasya Paramesvara. The embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, but the taste for sense objects remains. But by ceasing such engagement, by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. So we have to get that higher taste, which is Krishna. Otherwise, we will be driven materially. We will end up being a paranjana if we are ordinary living entity and with something that represents the ordinary intelligence, and we'll be asleep again. You can wake up and fall asleep. Actually, whatever progress you make never goes away, but we're not perfectly awake yet. So we don't want to delay our journey. And what's the easiest thing you can do to not delay your journey is just always stay in the association of devotees. They are really nice devotees, and these are very nice devotees here. So by just staying with the program, you ever get the mindset like, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be around these people anymore, I want to do my own thing somewhere else, you should have like 15 red flags raised up in your brain going, whoops, oh man, I'm messed up. I have to now, for sure, get in the association of devotees so I don't have that crazy thought again. So that's really critical. Otherwise, we could be like that, driftwood going down the stream to the ocean of pure love of God, getting caught up in an eddy and being on the side of that shore of the stream for lifetimes until like a Prabhupada comes down and then causes this flood, and then you get back in the stream for a little while longer. But the intelligent people are utilizing their intelligence consistently and applying themselves appropriately and not becoming driftwood on the side of the wash in the stream. So yeah. And one more story, since you asked for a story. Narada Muni, another example. This is Narada Muni, but he wanted to see Krishna's Maya. And I've heard lots of different renditions of this story. But, Krishna, I'd like to see your Maya. He's a pure devotee, greatest devotee in the universe. And Krishna's, no, please don't. No, it's not good for you. But he insisted, so he goes, okay, please give me some water. Somewhere, get me some water, I'm thirsty. So he goes to a house, finally finds a house, knocks on the door. Pretty girl answers the door. And he's like, well, I just need some water for Krishna. It's like, yes, please have a seat. And he has a seat. Doesn't just have a seat. He ends up marrying her, has kids, and on a house, and all the rest, just like that verse that your Prabhu gave about how meti, things expand. The knot in the heart gets tight after, contact with all this. And you start thinking in terms of I and mine. This illusory, delusional conception. Everything's Krishna, right? So, he does his whole family life thing. It's a big storm. He's super attached to his family, and the storm gets so big that the water washes away his kids and his wife, and he then gets washed away, hits his head on the rock on the bottom of the stream, and all of a sudden kind of wakes up to consciousness, and all that entire illusory thing that he just experienced, it was just the illusory energy of God, like the Terminator. Hi dear, it's me, your daughter or your mother. So yes, please come on over. It's the same thing. It's the illusory dimension. And he's like, sees Krishna there, where's the kids and the wife it's all gone. It's completely gone. It was just the illusory dimension of Krishna. And then he's like, where's my water, where's my water? Now you know my Maya. He really had the right intent. I want to get some water for Krishna. Had the right intention. So be careful what we want. We want to remember Krishna. We should pray that prayer every day, that Lord Chaitanya prays. He tells us how to pray. He wrote only 8 verses. One of those is, I don't pray for the material wealth and the wife or the followers. My only prayer is your devotional service in my life, birth after birth. We should pray that every day. And Krishna hopefully will grant it. We'll get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. We won't have to see this, what Narada Muni had to go through there. Because that's a lot of time wasted. Okay, stop there. Thank you very, very much for tolerating all that, and really wish you all the very best. And thank you unlimitedly, literally unlimitedly, for letting me have your all association. It's so critical for me. Thank you for being my friend. Hare Krishna.
Do you know the origins of that story? Because I'm told that